Hi guys! In today's video we'll be doing this doll repaint inspired by Ursula, the sea witch from The Little Mermaid. Ursula was by far one of the most requested characters for me to make a repaint of, so I really hope you enjoy. For this project I worked on this Monster High Laguna doll. When doing fairytale creatures I usually prefer the Monster High dolls, and also there wasn't really a suitable doll to fit Ursula's body shape, therefore I went with a Monster High because I wouldn't get anything close to her anyway. Starting from the top, I carefully removed the head from the body so I could take away the hair. Then I used acetone to remove the original face. Once she's all clean, I used 3 coats of the Mr. Super Clear spray to prime her before using my watercolor pencils and a bit of chalk pastel for the actual new face. The eyes were a little difficult since this doll's sculpt is very far from Ursula's face, but I tried to tweak the shapes a little so they would fit on this doll sculpt and also keep the characters like spirit. A big part of Ursula's look is the very bold makeup, so blue eyeshadow and red lips. For the eyebrows, I start out by sketching them in some chalk pastel, then using a small piece of an eraser to correct the shape, and then I go over them with a pencil. The features on the doll is not nearly as sharp as those of the character, so I use a bit of black chalk pastel to kind of shade it and bring it out a bit. Since the color of the doll is really pale, the white pencil didn't really stand out when I colored in the whites of the eyes, therefore I used the watercolor effect of the pencil to bring out the color a bit more. And this was as far as I got in my first layer. Then I took the doll outside, sprayed it with another layer of Mr. Super Clear and then started working on top. A lot of the steps will be the same because I want to intensify the colors. And this is how far I got in the second layer. When I was happy with the look of the face, I sealed it a final time with the spray, let it dry, and then I glued on some doll eyelashes. I went for very long eyelashes since it contributes to the very over-the-top look she's got going on. Then I add glaze to the eyes and lips. For her hair, I took some white and grey acrylic yarn, combed it out and straightened it to make it into doll hair. I already have a video showing how to do this, so I'll link you to that in the cards. Then glue the hair onto the head, going straight up so we get this gravity-defying hair she has from being underwater. Once she has a full head of hair, then you can give her a trim. I won't be doing the final styling until I've reassembled the doll in the end. Now we can move on to the body. The doll has these small fins on her arm, which I couldn't really use, so I carefully trimmed those off and used a file to smooth it out. Next off, I removed the legs. I did this by pointing the legs upwards, pulling and popping them off that way. And I'll be keeping the legs, cause being the crazy doll maker that I am, I might find some use for them later. To build up the new body, we'll be using some air dry clay and also some glue to make it stick. Spread some glue on the bottom of the doll and then start building out the shape using the clay. Once you've built out the bottom and butt area to the size that you want it, take a bit of water and use this to smooth out the surface. Allow it to dry for a little bit so it keeps its shape, and then you can start rolling out snakes to be the tentacles. Then use a bit of glue to stick on the tentacles. I gave her 6 tentacles because that's what I could count that she had in the movie, even though I read somewhere that she's supposed to be half octopus, which means she should have 8. But then if you count her arms, then she technically has 8 limbs. I don't know, whatever. Once all the tentacles was attached, I made a small stand from just crumpling up some tinfoil so I could keep her a tiny bit elevated, so I could pose the tentacles to look right. Once you're happy with the pose, then you want to let it all dry and set. Once the clay is all dry, you can paint it with acrylic paint. Once it's all painted, seal it in with a bit of glaze. For the final details, I took a small shell and a piece of string and glued this together to make her necklace, and I rolled up a small strip of polymer clay to be each earring. Now reattach the head, style the hair and add on the details, and our Ursula doll is ready. I really hope you enjoyed my take on Ursula as a character. It was a bit challenging since she has a lot of specific details and she is quite an iconic character, but I hope you enjoyed anyway. If you have requests for any of the characters you'd like to see me make, leave them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in a new one real soon. Bye!